Tonight, we start off by taking a look at the Honors College receiving an award and the involvement update for the week. Then, we'll inform you about the fall commencement keynote speaker, as well as the dangerous levels of flu cases in Alabama. We'll also take a look nationally by updating you on the election results and Hurricane Nicole. Finally, you'll get an Auburn sports update and the pet of the week. All that and more is coming up next on Eagle Eye's Monday News at 6. Good evening and welcome to Eagle Eye News at 6. I'm Jillian Byers.
And I'm Nicholas Wetzel.
Recently, Auburn University's Honors College was featured in Town & Country, one of the country's oldest continuously published general interest magazines. The story focused on the increasing number of Northern students that are choosing to enroll in Southern schools, specifically mentioning Auburn as one of those schools. The article also featured a current honors student at Auburn University that enrolled in the fall of 2021. The student was quoted several times throughout as the story highlighted the high-impact opportunities that the Honors College provides its students. The most recent edition of Town & Country that includes the article highlighting Auburn and its Honors College is available for purchase on newsstands.
Now, we turn to Coleman Turnipseed, the Auburn SGA Vice President, for our weekly on what the Student Senate is working to improve on Auburn's campus. Let's take a look.
Hi everyone, my name is Coleman Turnipseed and I'm the SGA VP. This week in the Student Senate, we passed a bill which will allow for the funding of the Green Space Lighting Program, which will provide more lighting for the green space and allow for more events to be held at that space at nighttime. We also passed two resolutions, the first of which is an early alert system for timely grade implementation, which was passed by Senator Dodd. The next resolution was an ask to facilities for the construction of a water line to allow for a food truck to be placed between Louder and Shelby. Next week, we have a commendation for President Roberts, as well as a resolution concerning an updated study space program. Campaign registration for minor candidates and major candidates is open now and will close on December 1st at 4:45 and can be found at aub.ie/campaign registration. That is all from me right now, but I will see you back here next week for the Senate recap.
Searching for some fun campus activities before Thanksgiving break? Well, look no further. Involvement Ambassador Bailey Blake is here to give you the scoop on all the activities and events you can get involved with on campus this week.
Here you go, guys. My name is Bailey Blake, and I'm back here with your involvement update. The first update I have for y'all is that the Involvement Ambassadors are having a workshop on Monday, November 14th at noon on how to handle elections within your organization. They're partnering with SGA for this event, and they're excited to see everyone there. This week is the last week of the Beat Bama Food Drive, and they will be on the concourse all week. So be sure to stop by to hear about what they've been up to, and just know that every single donation can change the lives of the food insecure in our community. $1 equals 7 meals, so every dollar really does make a difference. The Entrepreneurs at Auburn Club is hosting a session about how to grow your online presence on Tuesday, November 15th at 2:30. During the session, they will showcase a variety of free tools and low-cost resources that can help businesses build their brand, website, and expand their online presence. My last update for today is to be sure to check out organization days on the concourse every Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. to stay up to date on all the different ways you can get involved throughout the semester. And just as a reminder, AU Involved has lots of information about everything going on around campus, so I encourage you all to check that out for more involvement opportunities. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to an Involvement Ambassador at involve@auburn.edu. Thanks again, guys, and War Eagle.
When we return from this short break, we'll tell you all about the fall commencement keynote speaker. Then, you'll hear about dangerous levels of the flu in Alabama. You're watching Eagle Eye News at 6.
Auburn University has chosen its speaker for the fall commencement address. Auburn alumna and retired Army Colonel Dr. Simona Black will deliver the keynote address at 5 p.m. on Friday, December 9th. Black earned her bachelor's degree in nursing from Auburn. She then leads a career in the Army Nurse Corps. She is set to deliver a speech reflecting on her journey at the university, in the Army, and afterwards. Black has said that she is honored to be returning to Auburn to deliver the commencement address this fall. Throughout her career, she has been a part of multiple organizations and leadership groups dedicated to supporting college graduates. Auburn's commencement will showcase the university's graduation traditions, including the address delivered by Black. All graduates must attend and arrive at the North End Zone parking lot by 4 p.m. All family and friends are welcome to attend with access to the stadium through dates 1 through 8, beginning at 3 p.m.
Well, unfortunately, with this year's flu season coming around, the state of Alabama currently has the highest level of flu cases on the CDC scale. This comes after last year's report of Alabama's minimum level of flu activity. In fact, flu-like illnesses are at 11.54%, which is increased from last year and well above the baseline of 3.27%. Recent data for the week of November 5th lists Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia as having very high levels of flu-like illnesses circulating. This is the highest level of flu activity in the state of Alabama since the 2009 influenza A pandemic, Alabama health officials say. Officials recommended almost everyone 6 months of age and older should receive a flu vaccine.
The 2023 City Market vendor applications are now open today. If you are a local grower or artisan, then this is the perfect opportunity for you. The annual City Market will be held every Saturday from May 20th to August 26th at the Town Creek Park from 8 to 11 a.m. If you are a vendor, setup begins at 7 a.m. All farmers, growers, and artists can fill out the online application or apply in person at the Harris Center. Submission of a vendor application does not automatically guarantee a vendor spot. All applications sent in will put vendors on a wait list. Due to a high demand for bake applications, all bakers who send in an application must also drop off a sample of their product during the designated times at the Harris Center. For more information and a link to the vendor applications, you can visit auburnalabama.org/citymarket.
If you're looking for a good distraction during the stressful end of the semester, then the Auburn University Theater and Dance first musical of the season is right up your alley. Directed by Ashley Butler, the Theater and Dance Department will be performing the show Pippin. The musical is the story of a young man who sets out on a journey of self-discovery to find meaning and magic with a trope of mysterious players guiding the way. The story combines all of the most wonderful parts of musical theater, with song, dance, acting, and even a little bit of humor. Tickets for Pippin are now available online, with Auburn faculty, staff, and students receiving special promotions for all performances at the Telfair Pete Theater. Shows have already begun, but will continue for November 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th, each at 7:30 p.m.
The College of Education's Eagle students recently had a fun visit with the Auburn men's basketball team and Coach Bruce Pearl. The basketball team had a practice session with the Eagle students at the Rec Center, where they worked drills, had shooting instruction, and just had fun. Auburn University has always been dedicated to connecting all of its students no matter what they are involved in. And this was the perfect example of that. Both groups thoroughly enjoyed the experience. When we come back, we'll inform you of the election results from last week and Hurricane Nicole. You're watching Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader.
A crucial victory in Nevada has led to Democrats retaining control of the Senate for the next 2 years. Now, all eyes are on who will gain control of the House, which is still up for grabs. Gloria Penzmino has the latest.
This is such a cause for a celebration.
A celebration indeed for Democrats, who will now retain control of the Senate on Capitol Hill. The critical win comes after Nevada Democratic incumbent Catherine Cortez Masto defeated Republican challenger Adam Laxalt after trailing him for days as votes were counted.
We've known this was going to be a tough campaign, but like all of you, I'm a Nevadan, and I know what it takes to deliver for my home state.
We won because we had a really good agenda that we actually passed that helped the American people on things they cared about.
This should have been a huge red wave. It should have been one of the biggest red waves we've ever had because, the President Biden's approval rating was so low.
Democrats managed to hold at least 50 seats in the Senate. The victory comes as a major boost for President Joe Biden. Now the question remains, who will control the House? So far, Democrats hold 204 seats to Republicans' 211. The number needed to control the lower chamber is 218 seats.
Let's just get through the election, okay? They haven't won yet.
As I've said all along, it'd be perilously close. We can win it. Whether we're going to win it remains to be seen.
And we may not find out who wins the House for weeks. As the vote count continues in states like Arizona, California, and Oregon with a large share of mail-in ballots. I'm Gloria Pasmino reporting.
We are learning just how dangerous respiratory syncytial virus, also known as RSV, can be for children. New data shows RSV is responsible for an estimated 1 in 50 deaths in otherwise healthy children under the age of 5 globally. Hospitals across the U.S. are overwhelmed with cases. In some cities, children's hospitals are at full capacity. This comes as flu cases are on the rise, posing another threat to children and parents. Jen Sullivan looks at the latest data and what parents can do to protect their kids.
Babies and infants hooked up to ventilators are becoming an all-too common scene as cases of respiratory syncytial virus, also known as RSV, skyrocket, overwhelming hospitals across the country.
There are no available pediatric ICU beds. There are no available pediatric general care beds.
Massachusetts' largest hospital system declaring a capacity disaster status Thursday as hospitals run out of beds. Similar situations in Michigan and in Georgia. RSV is now responsible for an estimated 1 in 50 deaths in otherwise healthy children under the age of 5 worldwide. And it's the second leading cause of death during the first year of a child's life.
It was incredibly concerning.
Sarah Walick's 10-month-old son was diagnosed with RSV. Fortunately, he wasn't hospitalized, but he did get sick.
He was quite sick. He had a fever, was breathing heavily.
The signs of RSV in infants include shortness of breath, grunting noises, chest caving while breathing, bluish skin, and changes around the lips, tongue, and gums. The surge in RSV cases comes as flu cases are also on the rise. The highest rates found among those 4 and under and 65 and older. The combination in virus numbers further overwhelming staff in hospitals.
Wait times in our emergency departments overall for, again, both adult and pediatric patients are nearing historic highs.
Doctors say the best way to protect yourself is to thoroughly wash your hands, stay home if you're sick, and keep surfaces clean. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
The threat from what once was Hurricane Nicole is not over, as we get a better view of what's being called unprecedented damage along the eastern Florida coastline. The storm is blamed for at least 5 deaths, as it now moves through the southeast and mid-Atlantic. Tornado watches are issued for millions, and some Floridians who are still recovering from Ian are starting the effort all over again. Mike Valero brings us the latest.
In the aftermath of what was once Hurricane Nicole, stunning scenes of dream homes collapsed onto the beach below. Some swept far out to sea.
I don't know. Honestly, just kind of shocked, so still haven't really processed it.
At least 5 are dead, with police in Cocoa, Florida confirming 1 man lost his life after first responders tried to rescue him here. The man and his wife on their battered yacht during the height of the storm. The path of destruction is sweeping. Homes are seen teetering, and some seawalls that started washing away during Hurricane Ian gave way during Nicole.
I was hoping it would be a little bit better of a sight. I was hoping that just the 2 back bedrooms fell this morning, but it tore out the living room walls and the ceiling.
About 50 beachfront buildings, including 24 condos and hotels, are now deemed unsafe in the Daytona Beach area. The county manager saying the structural damage along the coastline is unprecedented. Homeowners dazed at the destruction.
It's just, it just almost doesn't seem real to see all this, even though it's a possibility living here.
After Nicole became a tropical depression, tornado watches extended from the Carolinas into Virginia. This as Florida assesses the remaining risk from this rare November storm. I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
When we come back, we'll give you the sports update from last week with Blake Phillips. You're watching Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader.
Welcome back to Eagle Eye News at 6. I'm Blake Phillips here with everything you need to know about this week in Auburn athletics. In the words of Coach Lack, Auburn football is going to be okay. After a 5-game losing streak and a head coach switch-up, Auburn football finally added to the win column as they took down Texas A&M 13-10 in front of a sold-out Jordan-Hare. The Tigers' dynamic defense was critical in the win. Defensive end Colby Wooden even earned SEC Co-Defensive Lineman of the Week. Wooden recorded 3 QB hurries and had a strip sack in the fourth quarter, leading to an Auburn field goal. Up next for the Orange and Blue is the final home game of the season against Western Kentucky at 3 p.m. on Saturday. Auburn volleyball does it again. The girls traveled to Oxford on Friday and left with a 3-1 win over the Rebs. The Tigers improved to 21-5, tying the 2012 team in total wins and still have plenty of more opportunities to come. Freshman Kendall Kemp officially set the program's single-season block record with 144. Crouch and his team will get 12 days of rest before a road test against South Carolina. Bruce Pearl and company kick off basketball season by going 2-0. On Friday, Auburn took on the South Florida Bulls in the second half of a home-and-home series. The Tigers are back in Neville Arena to play at Winthrop. That's all we have for you tonight, but make sure to stay up to date with all things Auburn sports by visiting our website, eagleeyeauburn.com, and by following our Twitter at EETV_sports. I'm Blake Phillips, and I'll be right back.
A massive triple implosion and a rocky run-in in the city of brotherly love. Coming up in today's Take a Look at This.
Time to start your week off with a bang. A massive triple implosion brought down a trio of cooling towers at a shuttered coal plant in western Kentucky. The Paradise Fossil Plant in Drakesboro had serviced the area for nearly 60 years. Its 435-foot triple towers were even the largest in the world when first built, but all 3 were retired by 2020, leading the Tennessee Valley Authority to blast this bygone-era behemoth to smithereens to clear the land for future use. Over in Florida, residents flocked and gawked as a large implosion bid a historic hotel bye-bye in Miami Beach. The once glamorous Duville Hotel had been a Miami Beach staple, once hosting international stars and figures from JFK to the Beatles. But years of neglect and financial troubles finally caught up with it, and it was deemed unsafe by engineers and thus turned from a retro rock star resort to a pile of rocky rubble. Speaking of Rocky,
Got me, Mick!
Runners did their best Italian stallion impressions while donning sly costumes and some not-so-sly costumes at the annual Rocky Run in Philadelphia. The yearly event benefits the Special Olympics, and thousands of runners came from all over to participate and celebrate the city of brotherly love's fictional fan favorite film folk hero. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Tim Allen reprises his role as Scott Calvin, better known as Santa Claus, in a new Disney Plus series. Rick Damigella unwrapped this story for us.
The stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there.
A familiar, jolly face is back behind the beard in The Santa Clauses.
Being Santa has meant the world to me. Once a year, I get to spread joy and magic to people everywhere.
But Tim Allen, portraying the right jolly old elf, had both drawbacks and perks.
Originally, when I went out to get fitted again, they don't do it differently. It's just it's claustrophobic and hot and uncomfortable. That said, once we got in it and I saw the reaction people had, I've become a different guy. And arguably, because of my age, the Santa suit now looks younger than me. That's just how weird it is. When I'm in the suit, my skin is flawless, and I'm really quite healthy looking.
Speaking of, do you happen to know if there was a Mrs. Claus before me?
Elizabeth Mitchell is back as Mrs. Claus.
We had the best time. The minute I walked onto set, the minute I got in the midst of everybody, I did have to pinch myself quite a few times. It was an absolute joy to do.
You know, I have a Funicino. Put cocoa in it instead of coffee. Put a little peppermint in there if you have that. Chop up some cookies and sprinkles.
Name for the order?
Santa.
Sir, my job is hard enough.
Not even close to starting my Christmas shopping in Hollywood. I'm Rick Damigella.
With my family.
So excited to introduce our pet of the week, Brooke. This gorgeous little lady has been with us for just over 3 months now and is still looking for her forever home. She went into foster recently, and her foster had nothing but great things to say about her, saying the sweet girl was a wonderful foster. Miss Brooke is potty and crate trained and very well mannered. Though she does get excited about kisses and love, she is the nap queen and spends most of her day lounging. Brooke loves all toys, barbecue chips, and peanut butter snacks. She will follow you around all day with her toy in her mouth. She takes it everywhere. She does great on car rides and is very good on a leash. If you're looking for a loving girl who is laid back, then she's the pup for you. Brooke is 5 years old, spayed, vaccinated, and microchipped. She's been heartworm treated, and her adoption fee is waived until further notice.
We're out of time, but for more Auburn news, head over to our website, eagleeyeauburn.com. Check out our social media pages, and make sure you tune in to our other show this Thursday. I'm Jillian Byers.
And I'm Nicholas Wetzel. Thank you for watching, and War Eagle!